Hi, and welcome to Reaching Out. I'm your host, Kim Carey, and today I have some very special guests in the studio today. We have Maggie Varney, who is the CEO and founder of Wigs for Kids, and along with Maggie is Kim Mercier, who is the medical director and the recipient of Wigs for Kids. We have Jaeleen Davis. Welcome you all to Reaching Out.
Thank you for having us here today.
So good to see you again,
Thank
Maggie.
you. Nice
So
to
good
see
to see you. So let's start by telling everyone what Wigs for Kids is and what you guys do.
Wigs for Kids is a local nonprofit, grassroots organization that we provide wigs and services for children with hair loss. Most of our children have cancer. 65% of our children do have cancer, but we service all children with hair loss for any reason. And there are many different medical reasons that cause hair loss. Trichotillomania, alopecia, hydrocephalus, lupus, burn survivors. So there's a lot of reasons that children do experience hair loss, blood disease. So, and we service children all throughout Michigan, ages 3 to 18. And we've been around for about 8 years now in existence.
That's your wellness center?
Kids. Yes.
Okay.
Well, we started the wellness center this year.
Okay.
We started out as Wigs for Kids, and unfortunately the need is great. So as the program grew, because there's over 500 newly diagnosed children every year in Michigan alone, diagnosed with just the cancer. So there's a lot of children that needed our service. So as the program has grown and the need has become obvious to us, we had to find a new facility and grow our programming as well.
And that's outstanding. But the unique thing is that there's no cost.
No, absolutely not. There's no cost to the children and their families. We're a nonprofit, 501c3.
Okay, so how do you get your funding? Who are your major sponsors?
Through the kindness and generosity of people in the community, the businesses, the individuals, the civic groups, the churches. You know, they are so supportive, and we are so blessed. And many of our recipients, that come to see us, their families get on board, and they help and support us too, so that we can continue the mission of the organization.
Okay, so tell us, Maggie, you have a very interesting story about the history of how you birthed Wigs for Kids. Tell us that story.
It really, I've had the honor and privilege of serving adult patients for the last 20 years. I teach a local program called Look Good, Feel Better for my adult patients. Through that, I became aware there was no program for children. I had a small salon and thought, well, I'm accredited and certified. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. Maybe I could help a few children, but I really had no idea that there were so many, Kim. And when that became apparent to me, because of the support I had given to the community all these years, all these people's family that I had serviced came out to help me. And our first fundraiser, we had over 800 people lined around the building to help us to get our program started. And how I became aware of it was my adult program that I was teaching. I had a young child who was like, I say child, she was 17, she's still a child to me.
Sure.
She was there with her mother, and I thought the mother was there to get service and support, and she was actually there to help the daughter. And she was there because she wanted a wig and didn't know where to get one. And I didn't know how to direct her, because I didn't know where you go to get wigs for children.
Sure.
And so that's kind of how it happened, and I invited her to come and see me to see if there was something I could do to assist her.
But you spoke with someone, and you were inquiring about wigs, and that particular person said, we don't have wigs for kids. And out of that...
Right. Oh, that's exactly right. I actually called Locks of Love. Okay. Because I had been sending hair there for many years and asked them where could our kids go locally to get a wig. And they said there was nothing available in the area. And I said, well, what do we do? And they said, well, it's just so labor intensive and so expensive, we just can't provide wigs for children, all children. And so that's when I became aware of that. Then I decided, well, we have to do something about this.
Right, right. So Kim, how long have you worked with Maggie and Wigs for Kids?
I've been a part of Wigs for Kids for 5 years now. Maggie and I worked together on the Look Good, Feel Better program for adult cancer patients. That's how we met. And she asked me to become an advisory board member about 5 years ago. So that's when I began my involvement with Wigs for Kids. as an advisory board member, which I still am. But as we began to plan for the opening of our wellness center, Maggie had asked me to take on the position of the medical director for the wellness center, in addition to my role as an advisory board member.
Okay, so tell us, what do you do?
So the portion of the wellness center, it has given us the opportunity to, Maggie still is able to service the children with their wigs and do the cosmetic part of that, but we now have a place to provide some other services, and I am in charge of the psychosocial component, because as we know, when children experience hair loss, they really struggle with many emotional issues, a lot of self-esteem, and just feeling like they fit in. So our wellness center now has given us a home so that we could provide some services to the children, to their siblings, and to their families, because we know it's affecting all of them, not just the kids themselves. So we have some support programs. We have a dietitian and some social workers, and we're working together to put together different programs for the younger age children, some play therapy for older children. We are working to put together some self-esteem and teamwork building for them, as well as just fun stuff to do, because we want the kids to have a place to come together and just be able to relax and feel normal. And feel normal.
Yeah.
And in a place that they can come and feel like their peers, which is not often the case with them at school.
Okay. Maggie, tell us what they can expect, the family, the recipient, upon calling Wigs for Kids, and what their first consultation is like. Walk us through that.
We try to make it really simple for them. You know, they are already going through so much, and a lot of them really don't want to be there. And whatever their condition is. And so we make it real simple. They go online and visit Wigs for Kids at www.wigs4kids.org, print out an application, fill that out. They can either fax it, email it back to us, mail it to us, drop it off, whatever. Come take a tour of the center so that they're comfortable if they'd like. It's very easy, a 2-page document. It's not real lengthy, and they can provide us with a prescription stating that they have a medical condition that's causing this hair loss, a medical or psychological condition causing the hair loss, and then they schedule an appointment immediately. We get them in immediately. We see children every day. 6 days a week. So we make it pretty simple. We qualify no one, we help everyone, and we turn no one away. And there is no cost.
And what are your hours?
We're open Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 8 to 4, and Wednesday and Thursday from 8 to 7.
Okay. Well, Jaeleen.
Hi.
Welcome. Hello.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And you are wearing a wig from Wigs for Kids.
Yes.
Tell us about your experience.
When I was 8, I was diagnosed with alopecia, which is just hair loss. The immune system attacks your hair instead of attacking a disorder or a flu symptom in your body. And before then, I was the most outgoing girl you would ever meet. I was doing beauty pageants, I was modeling and acting and singing and dancing and everything. But after I lost my hair, I lost all my self-confidence, all my self-esteem, and I didn't feel like I could do the things I love to do anymore. Meeting Miss Maggie and being a part of Wigs for Kids definitely changed everything and my whole outlook on life.
Now, how old were you when you lost your hair?
I was 7, and my hair completely fell out when I was 8.
Okay. So at that point, you started wearing store-bought wigs?
Yeah, cheap $5, $10 synthetic wigs that everybody could even tell. Some days I wouldn't even want to put it on or go to school. I would just wear caps if I had to. My mom would force me so I wouldn't miss. And I mean, it was bad. It was horrible.
Do you feel comfortable sharing a not so good experience that you had during that time when you started wearing those store-bought wigs?
I lost my hair in elementary school, and all the friends that I had since kindergarten, preschool definitely turned on me. It was like I had some flesh-eating disorder and they didn't want to touch me. One girl in particular came up to me and pulled on my hair and pulled on her hair, and because my wig was so cheap, it, you know, came off. And she goes, "Well, my hair didn't come off," and walks away. And it's the little things that hurt. You know, she didn't call me bald. She didn't, you know, say any bad things to me. It was, you know, what she did, and
it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it hurt.
Yes.
But that all changed when you met Miss Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like? How'd you feel?
I can remember the first consultation. I wouldn't even look her in the eye. I wouldn't hug her. I wouldn't, you know, do anything. And she'd ask me all these questions, and I'd just nod my head or, you know, kind of look down and be embarrassed. And
but you're not doing that now?
no.
So what was the first fitting like for you? How did you feel?
I felt like I might get a part of my life back. I finally felt like I could become this, you know, beautiful young woman that I always wanted to be. And I felt like I could maybe, you know, just do the things I love to do now.
And you're pretty busy.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty busy.
Yeah.
How was your experience interacting with Kim?
They helped me out a lot. Everybody, not only Kim, but everybody at the Wellness Center definitely makes it a great experience to come into. They are your second family. And I mean, you can walk in there and you're, you know, let me have your coat. You want a drink, a water? You want some tea? You want some coffee? You want a little cookie? You want, you know, and it's an amazing, you know, amazing
It's a
experience.
Beautiful facility, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So Kim, you're wearing a really nice scarf. Kind of show us what that artwork is.
This is our Wigs for Kids logo, which you'll see if you go on our website. And this scarf is part of some of the merchandise. We have a boutique in the Wellness Center. And so we sell some of the Wigs for Kids merchandise. We have a matching tie with this too that's beautiful. And this is done by a local artist, and he donated his artwork to print this beautiful scarf for us.
Now, speaking of artwork, Maggie, you were instrumental from the paint down to the furniture, just the actual picking of the furniture to go in the Wellness Center. And the rooms, you have separate rooms for the children.
We do.
For the youth and for the teens. Talk about that.
We want to give them a feeling. They really enjoy the fact that they're coming to a salon. It's not a medical facility. So they're coming into a salon environment. And yet it's open but private.
Yes.
So I can take them off, and there's no doors. And there's 5 cameras going 24/7. So the children are always, the whole place is being under surveillance and protected. So the children always, you know, the families feel very safe there. But it's open yet private, which is really nice for them. And they can speak freely and openly, but yet they're in a salon environment, so it's kind of nice. And then our whole educational medical area is, those are private areas too. Yet all this other activity can be going on simultaneously. It's worked out beautifully. And Dominic Payneborn was our local artist, and he also painted a beautiful portrait of one of our children who became an angel.
Okay.
And he did that for one of our mothers and donated it to her, and she asked him to do a second one to hang in our center in the foyer, because it is a picture of a mother's love, and it just shows the love that not only in the nurturing do they get from their families, but also from their extended families, as Jaeleen said. We're there to be of service. That's what we do.
Well, I think my favorite part in the youth room is the little chair. It is the cutest little chair.
Yeah. Well, that's thank you to Art Van.
Art Van.
Art Van Furniture.
Very instrumental in donating.
Very instrumental. They came in and they donated all that beautiful furniture that you see, and all the construction that you see in the building put together was by the Weber Group. And we also have a dear friend from Mercier Insurance Company that donated all the office furnishings for us. So we're really blessed. You know, you say, well, I even picked out the paint on the walls.
Yes.
You know, we had a wonderful architect that worked with us. But the truth is, it took all of us to make this happen. One person, you know, I'm just one person. That's it.
But out of your vision, you've touched so many lives.
But
and
they've helped me to make this vision a reality.
Yes.
It doesn't happen alone.
Yes.
It takes a wonderful board who believe in your vision and support you and help to make it a reality. It takes the children in the community who you service and their families to go out back out in the community and reach other children, so they then can come to us and we can help them as well.
But what's unique as well is when you enter into the facility, you have a gift area.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Our little gift emporium, we call it. You know, where the kids can come there and shop, but also the adults. And you know, all those proceeds go back to the center, and every item in there is brand new and it's been donated by somebody, by one of you guys, you know, in the community who have donated items to help us sell back to you guys to give, you know, support to the program, because we really only do one fundraiser a year. And that's September 16th this coming year, 2011, at Barrister Gardens. And we do that every year, and that's the one fundraiser we do to help raise funds to help continue the program. Because there really is no support, you know, out there for a program like this except through the kindness and generosity of the people.
Okay. Well, Kim, tell us about a sponsor that highlighted you guys, and it was so special to you this year.
Well, we were chosen, Wigs for Kids was chosen. Mark Hackle had supported us with the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and they have sponsored a float in the Detroit Thanksgiving Day Parade, and Mark Hackle and his department was able to choose a charity of choice, and they chose Wigs for Kids. So we were able to represent Wigs for Kids in the Detroit Thanksgiving Day Parade. So we had some of our children and their families that were able to participate. We had a float that was just for us, and as we walked, we got down there very early as we were instructed, and as we walked in our Wigs for Kids sweatshirts, it was very emotional how many people came up and stopped us and had a story, a Wigs for Kids story, and how many people said, hey, I want to help, what can I do, just by having that out in the community. So the children that were able to come, it was cold, obviously. It was Detroit Thanksgiving, and so we were all in hats. So even with their wigs on, you know, they had their hats on, and we were all able to walk in that parade, and it was very magical to the kids.
A oneness.
We were all one together, and they felt so, just a sense of belonging, and it was it was special to them, and they just felt just a sense of pride, a huge sense of pride and belonging as they walked that parade route, waving to everybody, looking and feeling with the utmost confidence as to who they were as a person. And as their parents walked with them, walking with that same sense of confidence because they were proud of how proud their children were.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's absolutely beautiful. And Jaeleen, this program has allowed you to regain everything that was taken from you when you lost your hair.
Yes.
So you now have something to share with us and Maggie that you're holding in your lap.
Yes. Not more than a year ago, I was finally able to do my first pageant since my hair loss. It was definitely, you know, kind of in a daze, in a daydream type state when I walked up on the stage and did my walk. And I was against 17-year-olds when I was 14, and I had no hopes of winning. You know, all these older girls that have been doing it. I mean, I haven't done this since I was 6. And I got up on stage for the crowning ceremony, and they did the biggest awards first and then the smaller awards last. And, you know, they were calling off 3rd and 2nd and first runner-up, and my name wasn't called, and I look at my mom and I do, you know, one of those faces, and she goes, you know, you're okay, and they go, you know, and the grand winner is Jaeleen Davis, number 35, and I couldn't believe it. You know, it was an amazing feeling to show people that you are something, and that you are beautiful no matter what you do. I stepped back and they crowned, you know, the prettiest dress and prettiest eyes and most photogenic, and I didn't think I was going to win any of these little ones, and they called my name. They said, you know, Jaeleen Davis, you won best hair.
Best hair.
It was the most ironic, you know, award I could have won.
Yes. And
my mom, you know, was crying and laughing at the same exact time, and so was I on stage. And, you know, everybody was looking at me like, what's gotten into her? Because none of them knew I was wearing a wig. None of them understood how overjoyed I felt and how amazing I felt being on that stage, being awarded best hair when I had a wig. When all these people had their regular hair and I had the wig, and I won.
Outstanding.
So and that's why I do wigs.
Oh, and I know. So you have something to give to Maggie.
Yeah, Miss Maggie actually hasn't been able to see this, but I kept my award, my little medal of honor, and I would like to donate it to the Wellness Center so you can show all the boys and girls and teenagers that no matter what, no matter how they're different, that they're all sparks and that they all can, you know, ignite their own little light and make all their dreams come true.
Oh,
like I did.
That is precious. That's outstanding.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Aw, that is wonderful. Aw. Okay, Maggie, before we run out of time,
Yes.
I could talk to you forever, but we want to let the audience know where they can reach you and how.
Well, they can contact us by phone, area code 586-772-6656, or they can stop by and visit our new wellness center, 30126 Harper Avenue in St. Clair Shores, or visit us on our website, www.wigsforkids.org. And I want to thank you. Please thank you so much for coming by and visiting our center.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure.
And thank you for having us in today, and always for the opportunity to reach out to more children.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Kim and Jaeleen, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Reaching Out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.